Guys, I'm excited because we are now starting a new series, and it's called High Stakes. Now, when Pastor introduced what he felt God wanted us to do with this series and where he wanted to go, what I love is high stakes. You think about an action-packed, blockbuster movie, all these things going on, but when you have an action movie with a lot going on, you also have high consequences. And so I personally love movies. I feel like movies have a bunch of metaphors that kind of speak to life and speak to different things that we're going through. And so I thought this was great that we're in spiritual warfare. We've been hearing that these last couple of months, actually. We went from engaging the Holy Spirit to now being serious about to engage the enemy. And so as much action and activity is going on, we also have a lot of consequences that could happen if we're not aware of what the enemy is trying to do. So in this series, we're going to mainly learn three things: know your enemy, know your allies, and know the stakes. And today, we get the opportunity, me and Tigers, to talk about knowing your enemy. Why do we need to know your enemy? This message is so important because he doesn't want you to know these things that we're about to talk about. There are four key things that I want to talk about. There's a lot of other elements, but there are four key things that Tigers and I, we want to talk about that the enemy doesn't want you to see, because then he won't be able to manipulate what you see. So, how I want to start this off is, with knowing your enemy, the key thing I want to talk about is knowing the enemy's voice. Now, when you think about warfare, you think about all the tools, all the weapons, or everything, but the first thing I really want to talk about is knowing the enemy's voice. And I don't want you guys to take this lightly, because the enemy's voice is not like a Hollywood villain, like the old school Disney villain where they have no reason to do whatever. They just look, you can look at them and you see them as evil. The way they sound, they're like, ha 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 ha. You can just see them as evil, you hear them as evil. They feel evil, but the enemy is way more slick than that. See, one thing we gotta understand is that we are in our flesh. This is like our earthly form of ourselves. And this by itself, flesh, it has certain things that it's comfortable with. And that comfort is where the enemy comes in and plays. So that's why it's so hard to kind of see, like, what are you doing? So when it comes to knowing the enemy's voice can guide us to think a certain way, to see people a certain way, to see yourself a certain way when you're hearing his thoughts and his way of thinking, speaking to you. For me, like, even in marriages, the enemy's voice can get into me and how I treat my wife. The enemy can get into me and how I speak to you guys, how I interact with you guys, and most of all, the enemy can get into my way of thinking by his voice to show and distort how I see God. And why this is all important is because how you see what you see is how you will act, how you will do what you do, because it sinks into your heart, and there's where the actions and the motivation comes from. That's why the enemy knows that's exactly where I'm going to attack. Let me use my voice and speak into your ear. Now, a classic example is Eve. Obviously, the enemy, the serpent, came in, spoke things, distorted things, and that changed everything. And I want you guys to know that's how big it is when it comes to the enemy's voice in our ear constantly. Now, when I think about the effect that it has on us, how we see things, how we do things, how we move physically, emotionally, mentally, another thing that relates to that we hear every day is music. Music has a way of making everybody either bop their head, or if you can't dance, you just do a little two-step or whatever. Listen, I'm going to confess something. There's probably one thing I don't mind confessing is that I'm super intimidated when it comes to dancing. Like, Tiff gets annoyed because she always wants to go out dancing fun, and I'll be sitting in the table like, nah, I'm good. And then I remember one time when we were just talking, and I was trying to, get a little closer, and trying to see if we could get into a relationship. And Tiff had me at some party, I think it was a family's party, and there was a song that came on, and it sounded like a slow dance. So I'm like, I got that. Oh, I can sing dance. Cool, okay, cool. You want to dance? I can do that. So we're slow dancing, and I didn't know that this song changes midway and goes upbeat. I got so mad. I'm sitting there heated, like, this is supposed to be a slow dance. I was so annoyed. But music gets you moving, right? Depending on the type of music, like we just talked about, slow dance, it can make you think about romance. It can make you think about joy. Music can make you think about war. Music can make you think about your kids. Music can make you motivated. Music can make you think about poverty. Music can do so many things because it has that effect to be able to come into us and allow us to think a certain way, see a certain way, and move a certain way. One thing I wanted to talk about is an example with Adele. I don't know how many of you guys know Adele, the artist. Listen, her voice is so powerful. And her music is just high quality. Those are the type of music that I like to listen to because it's so well crafted that I get to enjoy it. But one thing about Adele, the first second I hear about Adele, I think about how her music makes me feel what she feels. So easy because of the words and how she sings it and how it's all put together. And so there was one album that she came out with. It was called 25. It came out, I think, in 2015, right? Now, before it was even released, this album, Adele's quality of the singing and music was so good. Before anyone heard the song, the album went gold just off of pre-orders. Meaning, for those who don't know, it sold 500 copies before anyone even heard it, before it was even available. That's how good it was. That's how good they knew the brand Adele was, right? So there was one song that I thought was pretty cool. It's Hello, and that was the single that came out. But what I liked was how people reacted to the song. And one person wrote down on Twitter saying, Adele's Hello song makes me feel like I need to go through my contacts and apologize for something I never did. So we love that because it's like she gets me so into it, and I'm not even going through the situation. Like, I feel you, I'm so sorry, I didn't want to do that to you, right? But isn't that funny? That's how the enemy works. He makes us feel things we shouldn't even be feeling. He makes us do things and react to things we shouldn't even be reacting to. He makes us see ourselves in a certain way that God never intended us to look at ourselves like that. He actually crafted us for greatness. He actually crafted us to be loved by Him, but yet the voice of the enemy every single day, after a while, you keep hearing it, you keep reciting it, you keep moving to its rhythm, you start thinking that it's your voice. And when you start thinking that it's your own voice, He's got you. He would rather you think it's you because that's where He could play. You won't ever identify whose voice that is. And see, that's the danger. Because music makes you move into a rhythm, and it's a rhythm of life. Pastor Sharon talked about that one time. It's a rhythm of life that happens that, depending on what you're listening to, can cause you to react a certain way. Amen. Now, one thing I want to talk about is like, how can we determine what voice are we listening to? Because with these dangers that causes us to react a certain way, what voice are we listening to? And one thing God was showing me is that first, we need to ask the Holy Spirit for discernment. And why I say this is important is because my personality, I want to immediately go to attack mode. Like, oh, okay, this is your voice. You're trying to get into my ear. All right, I'm gonna find out every bit of everything that you're trying to tell me. I'm gonna find a strategy to do something. So yes, it's good. None of that is bad. But what I'm saying is that's the earthly part. We need to connect to the Holy Spirit because we need to have somebody who's stronger than spiritual. I mean, we can use our way of thinking, we can do our natural stuff, all of that. But if we have someone in the spiritual realm, the Holy Spirit guiding us, telling us which way to go, saying, no, that's not his voice, even though it sounds right, even though it may sound like me, even though it may sound like you, that's the enemy's voice. So the first quarter of this year, the first half of this year, we've been talking about Holy Spirit, and it constantly, now it's even more important than ever that we connect to the Holy Spirit during this time of wanting to engage with the enemy. Now, for some of you, when you are engaged with the enemy, some of you probably like, you know what, I gotta be careful. But I want you to know that, listen, it's not about allowing the enemy to have this power over you. It's about knowing, oh wait, hold on. Yes, he's powerful. Yes, I can't fight him in his own battle, but guess who I got living inside of me? Man. Guess who I got that can guide me? Guess who I got that can give me foresight, wisdom, beyond what the enemy can understand? That's who I'm going to tap into first before I take action. So that's the first step to how do you stop the enemy from getting into the ear. The next step is, listen, we need to pause. We're talking rest now. You guys remember rest last year. We were talking about resting in God. We need to pause and allow ourselves to analyze our thoughts. Okay? Because we need to develop this, we need to exercise our awareness of our thoughts. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take our thoughts and give it up to God and just have him show us go. Is this you? Is this me? Is this the enemy? Which is this? Because it sounds good, but I don't trust my flesh. Because it can easily mix in with what the Bible is saying. So listen, can you tell me what this is? But guess what? You can't capture thoughts if you don't stop to catch them. Meaning, we're creatures of habit. Every single day we'll go through something and we'll just go out of our patterns and our habits and a thought will fly by and we don't even notice. You can walk in and feeling like, wait, why am I feeling this way? Why am I acting out? Why am I giving this person a hard time? Like, what is going on? I remember times where I'm like giving her a hard time and I don't even know, like, wait, why am I like shocked like that? What's going on? So this ability, exercising, practicing this ability to stop, pause, and allow the enemy, allow yourself to take the enemy's thoughts, capture them, and give them to God. So this is essential, guys. Knowing the enemy's voice is key to knowing the enemy, because his voice will seep in and try to guide you where you need to go.
After knowing his voice, what's the next important thing to be aware of? Knowing his tactics, right? Because it's one thing for me to know that he has a voice, and to know that he talks a whole lot of trash, right? He talks a whole lot of trash, he talks a whole lot of nonsense. Why? What's the purpose? Jack mentioned Eve. So I want to just quickly look at Genesis 3:13. Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this that you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." So why is he talking? Nothing short of deception. He's the father of lies, right? We need to be aware of that. Because if we're unaware of the fact that he's lying, we might be a little less intentional and a little less aggressive about understanding what voice we're actually hearing. Because like he said, the enemy lies so often, sometimes it begins to sound like your own voice. And that's when things get a little sketchy. It comes into the, no, that's just me. That's just how I am. You know, I'm just not this, I'm just not that, I'm just not enough. Well, this week, the Lord said something to me, and immediately my reaction was, yeah, I'm not right for that. Like, I'm just not. And his response was, I don't have time for your inadequacy. I don't have time for your inadequacy. He doesn't have time for me to listen to the lies of the enemy, the deceptions that have tried to make their way into my heart. He doesn't have time for that because our days are numbered. The time is short. He is coming back, and we need to be conscious of that. We need to be aware of that, and we need to be on top of it. So I need to be very aware that the things that don't align with what God has said to me are a tactic of the enemy to deceive me and to fall into what he wants me to do. And I can't let that happen. One of the greatest deceptions that's going on right now is what I labeled as canceling the cross. The other night I had a dream, and in that dream, it was a really strange dream, and I knew that we were at some sort of conference or something, the pastors were there, and there was something about the enemy that was being exposed. And at the end of the dream, right before I woke up, I went into a room that had this pool filled with just black water, or black something, I don't even know what it was. But I knew that something the enemy was going to use was in it. So I went fishing around, I found it, I pulled it out, and it was a book that had a white cover, black lettering, and it was entitled Canceling the Cross. And it had a big red line. If we fall into the lie that hell is not real, and that at the end of this all, everyone goes to heaven, we have been deceived beyond measure. Because there is no other reason that Christ would have come down to earth, lived as man, led a life fully perfect to lead us, to guide us, and then died in my place if there wasn't something he was protecting us from. That's right. Hell is real. And we cannot allow the enemy to cancel the cross because using the word, right, manipulating the fact that God loves us so much that he would never want us to go to hell. The enemy knows the word too, but he takes it out of context. He even tries to tempt Jesus with it. Are you serious? You try to tempt the living word with the word? Are you serious? Come on. But we have to know. We have to settle that in our heart that God is good. God is gracious. God is loving. He wants to keep us from hell, but he gave us freedom. Do not fall into the lie that could ever cancel the cross. Everything that we do must be fueled by the cross. It is covered under the cross. All of that is relevant. It was relevant then, it is relevant today, and it will be relevant until the end of eternity. We can't let the enemy lie to us and deceive us out of that, otherwise we'll have no reason for any of this. Amen? The other thing that he does, as one of his major tactics, is he distracts. Deception and distraction. Diverted focus. If I can bait you into arguing about politics, arguing about the most popular sin issue that the church is going against, then I can keep you from doing what God wants you to do because you're focused on the things that do not matter. I think about Jonah. Jonah had a very distinct message to give. And he ran, right? Full-fledged opposite direction, trying his absolute best to get away from giving the word. And God wouldn't let that happen, right? He drew right back into his purpose. Jonah went, gave the message, gave the word, and then God was gracious. And Jonah was mad. That's what I want to focus on. Jonah 4:1-4. But it displeased Jonah as though he's that important, right? It displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he was angry. And he prayed to the Lord and said, "Oh Lord, is not this what I said when I was yet in my country? That is why I made haste to flee to Tarshish, for I knew that you are a gracious God and merciful, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love, and relenting from disaster. Therefore now, O Lord, please take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live. And the Lord said, do you do well to be angry? Do you do well to be angry? You're missing the point. I sent you here so that I could deliver them, so that I could lead them, so that I could pull them away from hell. I sent you here with a purpose. That's right. And you're missing it because you're caught up in your own self, thinking that your self-righteousness is what matters, when really all that matters is that my purpose was accomplished. Do you do well to be angry? Do I do well to be angry about politics? Absolutely not. I do well to pray for the political climate. Do I do well to be angry that the church is accosting people who are living actively homosexual lifestyles? No. I do well to pray for those people, to love them up close and personal, and to lead them to the cross, because that's what it was all about. I can get distracted. This week for us, when I say trying, well then, one distraction after another. One distraction after another. And each time, it'd be like, you know what, babe? We can't fix it tonight. And if we can't fix it, then it's not for the energy. And that's a hard thing for me to say because, I'm a bit of a control freak. I'm a planner. I like when things are in order. I like when things, just line up. And nothing was lining up this week. One thing after another. And all I could think was, man, I'm talking about how the enemy's going to distract. Look at that. Look at him up to old tricks because there's nothing creative about it. Right? Jesus is the creator, not man. So he has no new tricks. He will always divert back to Genesis 3, where he tricked and tempted with distraction and deception. Where he lied and made her believe that she wanted something that she never really wanted, because, I'm sorry, but I don't want all of the pressure of having to be God. Right? He's perfect. I am so flawed that I couldn't even begin to imagine what it must be like to live perfection. And that's a good thing. That's a gift that I didn't have to strive for those things. So, for my practical thing for you, I'm going to say you need to pay attention to what has your attention. Because what has your attention is what's going to drive you. So even this week, the other thing the Lord hit me with is, sometimes personal growth and self-help is a distraction from what I want you to do. Because if I'm so focused on always trying to fix me and grow and heal, then I'm only focused on me and I'm not focused on the world out there that is dying every day, searching for the thing that I carry within the very fiber of my being, which is the Lord God Almighty. Right? Greater is He who is in me than he that is in the world. And if I know that, then I get to walk it. And if I don't walk it because I'm too busy focusing on my fears and my anxieties and my inadequacy, God doesn't have time. Know His tactics. Be aware, be conscious, and be vigilant in identifying them and letting Him know that He's the Father of lies. He gets that title. But I serve the good God. Amen.
It's so key. These key things, knowing His voice, knowing His tactics, making sure that you're aware of the things that He's possessed that He tries to attack you with. Like Tiff was saying all week, distractions upon distractions. And it was almost like a fight to mentally don't get grabbed into this. It's so easy, it's so slick. With the Holy Spirit, He can guide you from hearing His voice or getting caught into His tactics. Now, the third thing I want to talk about, we talk about the enemy's voice, we talk about his tactics. But the third thing that comes to knowing your enemy and knowing your enemy well actually has to do with knowing your weakness. Now we went from him, now it's you. Now why is knowing your weakness so important by knowing your enemy? The obvious thing is because we need to know how he's going to get at us. We need to understand what he's actually going to do with the weakness. Now, this truth, something I want to say, is that there is someone that wants to use your weakness for their agenda. They want to take your weakness and not only affect you, but affect all the people that you love and that you're around. They want to take that otherness of that weakness, get in there, create their home so that they can further their agenda. And now some of you probably were thinking I was talking about the enemy, but I was talking about God. God is actually the one who wants to use your weakness to further his agenda, to further his kingdom. God is actually the one that wants to come into your weakness, put a strong there, so that he can be king of your weakness. Right. God is actually the one that wants to come into your weakness and change you and the loved ones in your life through your weakness. We haven't even talked about strength yet. We're just talking about weakness. And so in 2 Corinthians 12:9, Paul is talking, and he's saying, this is what Jesus said to me. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. That thing, it gives me goosebumps to know that God, he always flips things. So the world wants us to talk about our strengths. The world wants to publish and post their strengths because that's what they have as the ability to get by and get further in life. And God is actually, no, I want you to boast about your weakness. And there's a reason for that. Because what the enemy is trying to do, he's like, no. I want access to your weakness. Two people want access to our weakness, the enemy and God. And the reason the enemy wants it is because he can be able to control and manipulate within there. And the reason Christ wants it is to be able to come and allow an opportunity for his power to be demonstrated within you. But because of the world's way of thinking, because of the world's way of showing their highlights online, because of the world's way of showing a good reputation for each and every individual to show the public version of themselves, because of that constantly hitting our minds, after a while that song starts playing and seeping into our way of thinking. And the enemy's like, yeah. Do not show your weakness to your brother. You need to show them that you're okay. Don't allow your sister to see that you're low in this area of your life. You gotta show them you're okay. And what happens there is just like, perfect, thank you. You think that's you trying to protect your weakness, but I'm just trying to manipulate you so I can have access to somebody who's supposed to be used by God, and now I can use them for my agenda. And that's why Paul is saying, no, flip it. Yo, show your weakness. Boast about it. Let it be seen. Put it in the light so that people can see that and allow God to be glorified in your weakness. Because the second you do that, now you're being controlled by the Holy Spirit. Satan has no choice but to dip out. Now, one thing I want to talk about with this whole weakness thing, it makes me think about hot and cold, right? Fire, cold. Heat and cold, right? One thing you want to think about, when it comes to heat, when it comes to fire, it's an energy. It's an energy that is, created and it produces heat. And so, with fire, we are amazed by what it can do, different things, how powerful it can be. Now, the thing is with cold has no energy. There's no energy created naturally for cold. Cold is just the absence of heat. So here's something that God told me. He's saying that darkness's only power is the absence of light. Why is that important? Why does that have to do with our weakness? The way we view the enemy is key to how much power we give them. Darkness is only the absence of light. So the only power he so-called has is the absence of Christ. So the only power he has within us is the absence of light within us. The absence of allowing a weakness to be put into the light. If we take that light out, he has access to that, and that's the power we give him, because we're not boasting about our weaknesses. So I think about that because it's so easy to get intimidated by engaging the enemy. It's so easy to get intimidated by Satan, by his schemes, by his so-called power. But when we remind ourselves that you're nothing but the absence of Christ, and you're not even a battle with him. You're not a nemesis. You don't equally match him. He is beyond you. So it's so easy to hear the track of enemy, bad guy versus good guy. They're going at it in these movies, and it's so dope that this feeling that we got to battle. But don't get it twisted. The enemy is nothing compared to Christ. The enemy is nothing compared to the fact that he died on the cross and slaughtered all his schemes. He said, I'm going to come down to your schemes. I'm going to take over. You're not going to touch me. I'm going to show my people, listen, it can be done. I'm going to die on the cross for them to have connection to me, and you got nothing on them. And I'm going to make them believe that. So that's something we definitely need to understand. He has no power over us unless we give it. Now, as Tiff was saying, all week has been rough, trying to just in the natural, just getting things together. All week was rough. And we came together and saying, hey, let's do this message together. And we barely found time to even be able to do that. On top of that, our car went in the shop twice within this week. It's still not fixed. So having one car to drop one person off and have the baby and take her to daycare, it was just one distraction after another distraction after another distraction. So yesterday, the men went to the Basketball Hall of Fame, and I told Pastor Art, listen, I need the car ride to be able to at least soak on my message, soak on the message that Tiff and I are building. I just need some time, so I don't want to have to drive, but I just want to put in my earphones and just listen to music and try to work on my message. So he totally understood. He said, listen, I definitely want you to have that time. So as I'm doing this, I'm like, all right, cool. We're in the car. We got like 2 hours. Cool. I'm going to put my headphones in, and I'm about to go at it. I'm about to fight myself through this. I'm about to make sure I war myself through, making sure I can focus and get this message going. And it was right there that God spoke to me. And he said, Chad, you getting it twisted. You think all this stuff happened to you this week? That I allowed these struggles to go through and happen? Like, you think that was so you could be victorious in spiritual warfare? You think that it was for you to just win this battle and fight yourself through? You think it was for that? As much as I want that for you, Jack, don't get it twisted. When these things happen in your life, it's relationship first, warfare second. So I was trying to go at it war and war against these things I'm pissed off about, war against these things that the enemy is hurting the people I love. The enemy is pretty much raping this world of their victory, of their freedom, lying to them, like Titus was saying. Always out, I want to go after them, I want to get them, I want to take the sword and stab it in his heart. And God said, no, don't get it twisted. Relationship first. That's the whole reason for this whole thing. Because if you don't do relationship first and you switch and put spiritual warfare first, you're going into battle without me. And when you go into battle without me, there is a darkness that he has access to. That's why you need to focus on relationship first. I know you want to get your message together. I know you want to get, everything structured, but stop all of that. Let's talk. Let's have some time together. I got this. And you see how the enemy works so easily. Nothing about that was like a bad thing, but he could take something good and just twist it slightly to add himself within it. Nah, you're going to attack me. Come on, you're going to get at me. Come on. And God had to remind me, listen, this is relationship first. Knowing the enemy is about knowing your weakness, so that you know who to properly give your weaknesses to. Understand this, we all have weaknesses, we all got them now, and we will continue to have them. But God is not looking at you like, oh, goodness, why are you so weak? You don't hear God saying that. The only thing God really gets at is like, where's your faith? Give me your weakness, where's your faith? That's what I want. Knowing the enemy is about knowing your weakness, so that you can give your weaknesses to the right person, so that they can sit on the throne and guide your life.
Lastly, I want to talk about urgency. What is the urgency of knowing our enemy? I took this picture at Jersey Gardens Mall just this week. We were walking through the mall, and really I didn't have plans this week on going to the mall, but that day I just really wanted to go. I wanted to go to Coach and exchange my wallet that was a mess. Something that's been broken for a very long time, but I just felt that day like, you know what, I really just want to go walk. I'm walking through there, I saw this picture. Do we have the photo? No, it's not coming up. There we go. That's an advertisement in a storefront. It says, "Aloha from hell. See you when you get here. Kisses and hugs, kisses and hugs." Broken promises. Now, my confession is that I did zero research to find out what the story is about, what their thought was behind this, but that's what the world sees as the enemy. Fun, relaxed, not really. That's a deception. That's a distraction. That's a lie. And that's trying its absolute darndest to diminish all of the work done at the cross. We can't let that happen. We're God's plan. We can't let that stand. We can't let that happen. Which means we have to get outside of ourselves. We have to stop with the self-focus and realize the lies that are being pitched to people who don't know better, so that we can help them know better. John 10 through 11. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. We've heard this often, we've heard it a lot. But I want you to really listen to these words and understand exactly what they are saying. The thief comes only to steal, to take what was never his to begin with, to steal it from you, to take joy, to take peace, to take compassion. The thief comes to steal and kill, to take life away. To take life away, to end it, period, amen, no resurrection. The thief comes to steal and kill and destroy, to tear down completely, to break down until there is nothing left but rubble. And even that he wants to burn up and disintegrate, because he wants there to be absolutely nothing left of you. It's not just a phrase that we say. shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. We cannot come to the cross. We cannot let the world believe that it's a cartoon enemy that's after them. We can't let that happen. Because the enemy is really out there. He's real. His mission is real, and it is fueled by anger, hatred, jealousy. All of these disgusting things are what are fueling him. And we have to combat that by knowing that it is the good shepherd who has already laid down his life for the sheep. Because if I know that, if I know that I'm entering into a battle that is already won, then I have no reason to fear. The urgency is that no man knows the day or the hour. No man knows the day or the hour, but what we do know is that it's coming. We do know that he is coming back. And I want as many people as I possibly can bring to come with us as we ascend with our Father. I don't want to leave them behind. I don't want them to go to the place where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. There has to be an urgency within me, or I will fall prey to the tactics and the plans of the enemy to distract and disrupt me from the very reason that God gave me breath. The very reason that he gave me breath. James 4:7 tells us how to do this. I like the way the Amplified Version wrote this down. So submit to the authority of God. Resist the devil. Stand firm against him, and he will flee from you. That doesn't say, hey Tigris, go grab whatever weaponry you can, go set up a sniper shot, and go ahead and take down the enemy. No, this tells me to submit to the authority of God. Submit to the authority of God. Do what the Holy Spirit prompts me to do when he prompts me to do it without hesitation, because there's urgency. My time is short. I need to move, and I need to move when he tells me to move, how he tells me to move, and in no other way. Yeah. Because when I try to do it on my own is when I get tripped up. I am told to stand firm against my enemy, and he will flee. Not to run at him as though I've got this. Stand firm in faith, knowing who I'm standing with, who stands behind me, who's standing in front of me, who is covering me, and who I'm walking under the protection of. I don't want to go anywhere that he won't go. So that means that I don't have permission to do things unless he gives it. And that's something I need to be very conscious of. That's something I need to be very, very, very aware of. I can't let the enemy trick me into thinking I've got it either. Right? Because sometimes pride is the biggest enemy. The moment we get prideful is the moment that we're submitting to authority that's not from God, because God didn't give us pride. So you can't fall prey to that. The enemy will try to get you to fall prey to that. One of the things that I wrote down is truth beats reality every single time. Yet we live as slaves to reality. We call it wisdom or good stewardship, but none of that equates to faith. He said greater things we would do, but we're too focused on what is that we miss out on what can be. There's a very fine line when it comes to walking in boldness. You have to walk in boldness where God sends you. And you have to understand that the war is very real, the enemy is very real. However, our victory in Christ is assured if we'll fight God's way, standing firm in faith and resisting the devil. And here's the spoiler alert. At the end of it all, we win. Amen? Amen. So Father, thank you so much. I thank you, Lord God, that we are not fighting in our own capacity, that we were never designed to go out on our own, but we walk under the authority that comes from you. We walk based on the promptings of the Holy Spirit. Lord God, I pray that the things we've learned today about knowing our enemy would be cemented in our minds and in our hearts, so that when he tries his old tricks, they will fall. They will falter. Because he is subject to your authority just as we are. So Lord God, I pray that you would give us wisdom, give us clarity of hearing your voice, knowing your voice, and build in us a deep, deep, deep urgency, remembering that each and every day is a gift. Each and every breath that you've given us is designed with a purpose and a plan to further your kingdom and to push back the kingdom of darkness. Lord, I'm just so grateful that we are on the winning side. So I come against all fear in the name of Jesus. I bind it and I tell it to go. Fear, you have no place here. God, you don't have time for our inadequacies, so right now in this moment, I submit mine to you. And I ask that you would draw us all to a place where we submit all of the things that we have lied to ourselves, saying that's just me. We submit all of that to you so we can be replaced with the truth. And you are the truth. So Lord, as we go out from here, I pray that today would not be just another day, but today would be a day that would kick us off into all of the things that you have in store for us. In Jesus' name, amen.